So this is the only AH flipping guide that you're ever going to need. Well, unless the game changes a lot. No messing around, we're just going to cut to the facts. Pretty much everything that I can think of about AH flipping is going to be in this video. Anyway, if you do go on to enjoy the video and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Every subscriber helps and I would really appreciate it. Also, you should leave a like on the video, it lets me know that you actually enjoy the videos and it also boosts the video in the algorithm. And finally, my Discord server is the top link in the description, there's really no reason not to join. Anyway, let's get into the video, I hope you all do enjoy. So guys, if you click the top link in the description, it'll take you to a 3-day free trial of my AH flipping guide. From there it's $9.99 a month. Yeah, I'm only joking. So, AH flipping, where do we even start? First of all, I just want to say that AH flipping is very sporadic. AH flipping doesn't make a certain amount per hour, it's a lie. You can be good at AH flipping, you can be quick, you can know the markets, but a lot of it is luck. So when you're just starting off, you sort of have to prepare yourself for the worst, i.e. lose money to make money. Now, there are several types of AH flipping. Bin to bin, which is the most common type of AH flipping. You buy an auction, you buy it now, you sell it straight away. You've got auction to bin, whereby you bid on an item, win it, and then sell it on. Then you've also got craft flips. For instance, you buy 9 ancient roses, you craft it into a flower of truth and make profit. Also, before we do get into the meat of the video, there's more. You have to be smart with your money and time while AH flipping. Granted, it is almost a passive method and such a brainless method. It's as simple as clicking and clicking and clicking. There's no skill, realistically. Other than market knowledge, there's not really any skill. Having said that, you've got to consider a lot of things. For instance, your fees. You have a listing fee, and then you also get taxed when you sell an item. For instance, this Flower of Truth right here, okay? 4.38 million coins. The next cheapest one is, we'll call it 4.45 million coins. So on face value, that's a 70k flip. Now, I'll tell you now, there's no point, there's not enough profit in this, but it's just an example. So say if you were to buy this Flower of Truth and sell it for 4.45 million coins. So straight away for listing the item, you're going to lose 44.5k as a listing fee. Roughly, that may change if you decide to list the item for longer. You're also going to lose the same again once you collect the item off the auction house. So in total, you're going to lose 89k in fees, and in this case, you're actually going to lose 19k, even though there's a 70k flip. Like I said, there's nowhere near enough profit in this anyway, it's pointless to do, and proven, you lose coins. You've got to be aware of your fees, especially when you're dealing with more expensive items. And a good example would be a giant sword. As you can see, this one here, withered 5-star, recombobulated, one for all, hopper-tailed, all that good stuff. 200 million coins for the cheapest one. Next cheapest one's 201 mil. Once again, nowhere near enough profit in this to even consider it. Use it as an example. You buy this giant sword and think, oh, I'll make a million coins profit. Sell it for 201 mil. Okay, so you're going to end up losing once you actually list it and then once you collect it off the auction house when it sells. Over 4 million coins on this item. So realistically, if you were to sell this item for 200 million coins, even if you were to bought it for 190 mil, seems like a 10 mil flip, but it's only actually a 6 mil flip. And if you bought it for 195 mil, seems like a 5 mil flip, when in actual fact it's only a 1 million coin flip. So, is it worth it? Sorry to interrupt the video, but at the moment we're actually trying to beat the population of San Marino in subscribers. Now the population of San Marino is coincidentally thereabouts YouTube rank. Now the plan is to actually visit San Marino in a video if we get to YouTube rank. We'll actually be able to claim that we have more subscribers than population, which would be very cool. What I'm trying to say is if you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you are. Change that. Anyway, back to the video. Now while we're on the topic about is it worth actually doing a flip, not only do you have to consider your fees, you've got to consider the demand for the item that you're trying to flip. Number one, is there a reason why there's such a good flip? Does the item have demand? And that's where knowing your market comes in. Now sometimes you've just got to cut your losses, or you can prevent that in the first place, to be honest. For instance, before you do a flip, you need to think, how long is this item going to take to sell? For instance, if it's a 5 mil flip, but you're estimating that the item is going to take 12 hours to sell. In those 12 hours, how long will you be playing the game for? And out of those hours, or in that time period that you're going to be playing the game, are you going to be able to make more coins with smaller flips? For instance, a lot of the time you can get good flips on Maxer Armor, purely because there isn't a massive amount of demand for Maxer Armor in comparison to Necron or Storm. Therefore, it takes a while to sell, and sometimes it doesn't sell. That's even worse because then you've lost the fee for listing the item, which means in essence, if you relist it, you're gonna pay 3% essential tax rather than 2%. And when the item's expensive, so are the fees. Now what I'm trying to say is just be careful with your money and your time. Is the flip worth it? Always think that before you do it. Now, items to avoid. Pet skins. There isn't one here, but there will be soon. Not only pet skins, but other items that basically have strange demand. Let me explain. For instance here, we'll take a look at elephant pet skins, okay? Now, elephant pet skins. You see this red one here? 82 mil is the lowest bin. The next lowest bin is 90 mil. Okay, so that looks like an 8 mil flip. Obviously, consider your taxes. Still, decent amount of profit. The issue is, these items have very low demand and take a very long time to sell. Thus, they sort of tie your money up in investments that are stuck on the auction house. Also, what people do with items that aren't obtainable anymore, such as pet skins, is basically market fixing. So say for instance if I've got a lot of coins and I'm thinking, what should I do to make profit? Okay, so if I have a lot of coins, I can buy this red elephant skin, I can buy this one, I can buy this one, I can buy this one. Go to the next page, I can buy them all. We could literally buy them all. And then relist them for 200 mil each. Now, because these items aren't obtainable anymore, and very few people actually really have them, I mean, people are going to start, silly people, but people are going to start to buy them. And you don't want to be one of those people who falls victim to this. For instance, if someone did price fix this, they listed all these red elephants at 200 mil each, and then someone lists one at 150 mil, and you think, oh, that's a 50 mil flip, and you buy it, not knowing the market properly, the item's not going to sell for 200 mil, realistically. And to be honest, they may tactically list one cheaper themselves, just the off chance that people don't notice. At the same time, if you know the market well, you could reverse this and do this yourself. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're really, really familiar with the market. And to be honest, if you were, you might probably not be watching this video. What I'm trying to say is skins in general, you should probably avoid unless you're certain. Now, there's other items that have basically different demand depending on what's going on in Skyblock. And what I mean by that is if we go over to our calendar, look at the Spooky Festival, okay. Next Spooky Festival is in 4 days and 12 hours, so we've probably just missed one. Now if we take a look at an item like a Spooky Cupcake, which is only obtainable in the Spooky event, by that I mean you can't obtain this item any other time other than that 1 hour, you can see the price at around about 100k, which is relatively cheap for this item because there's a Spooky Festival that's just been. Now if we hovered over this Spooky Festival and it said starts in maybe 1 day, this item will be substantially more expensive. So yeah, so there's opportunity. Within like the following hours of when the Spooky Festival's just been active, you'll be able to pick these up for ridiculously cheap amounts. Because basically what happens is there'll be a massive influx in people that have them, therefore a massive influx in people selling them, which will drive the price right down. Because there'll be so many people selling them at the same time, essentially people are just going to keep undercutting and undercutting and undercutting. There'll be so many listed that it's just going to be a mess. I've picked these up for literally like 10 coins. I don't know why people list them for 10 coins, but quite consistently for like 5 or 10k. All you have to do is wait a little bit of time and sell them on. Even wait further on into the week, sell them on for even more. And as of now, Ultimate Enchantments are still in the auction house. I do know from the recent alpha tests and alpha updates that they're probably going to be moving to the Bazaar, which is going to kill that flipping method. But for instance, when Paul has just been the mayor, all like recombobulators are going to be cheap. Obviously that's not really AH related, but all your ultimate enchantments that you're going to be able to drop from dungeon chests are going to be cheaper. Because Paul's the mayor, people are going to be doing more dungeons, i.e. getting more drops. It makes sense. From there it's just the same rinse and repeat. The prices are going to be cheap, there's going to be lots of people listing the books, and you're basically just able to make a lot of profit. So now that all of that is out of the way, we can sort of have a little bit of a look into items to flip, and yeah, should be interesting. As I've just been saying, ultimate enchantment books are good to flip. They're good to flip all the time. They're great to flip when Derpy's the mayor because you get better deals. Nevertheless, wisdom books are great to flip. You can pick these up for very cheap. Most of the time they sell for around about 200k. They're relatively cheap now. The market is a little bit off, and to be honest, this sort of flip is going to be obsolete soon. If you're watching this video after the new update comes out, and by the new update I mean the ultimate enchantments going on the Bazaar, then ignore this. But it's as simple as buying them cheap and selling them on for low. Like for instance, at the moment you could probably sell these on for around about 180k. Like this one here is a great flip, 30k with the tax. You're going to be making at least 25k profit. They also sell very quickly, so it's a win-win. You can do the exact same for Ultimate Wise books, they're priced relatively similarly. You can also do this for Rejuvenate books, and this will be consistent as well, because obviously it's not an ultimate enchantment. Rejuvenate, very good to flip at the start, and to some extent Legion books are also good to flip. Not as much supply, not as much demand, the market's a little bit slower, but they still work. Other items that are good to flip when you don't have too many coins, Shadow Assassin Armor. Very, very good to flip, you just gotta have a keen eye. You can flip Epic, Legendary, Mythic. I seem to find that the boots, leggings and chestplate sell quicker. The helmets usually take a little bit longer to sell, but all pieces are good to flip. Now, as with all armor and weapons, certain upgrades, enchantments and so on are going to add value to a weapon, or piece of armor, or item. For example, on weapons, if the item is recombobulated, it's going to add value. If the item has Dungeon Stars or Master Stars, it will add value. If the item is Hot Potato booked, Fuming Potato booked, or has an Art of War book on, it's going to add value. The Reforge is going to add value. The enchantments are going to add value, especially the ultimate enchantments. Your gemstones are going to add value. For instance, on the Hyperion, the scrolls, there's so many things that will add value to this weapon. The exact same goes for armor. It's pretty much the same again. Recombobulated, stars, dungeon stars, hot potatoed, fuming potatoed, enchantments, gemstones and so on. Also with armor, dye adds a lot of value sometimes. As you can see here with Necron chestplates, this purple chestplate is going for 80 million coins, this dark purple one, whereas the equivalent lowest bid for a non-dyed one is going to be around about 40 mil. Also this white Necron chestplate here, 250 mil. Now to be honest, this is very expensive, it's probably not worth 250 mil. But yeah, it's definitely something to look out for. What I would say is be very careful. This Necron chestplate here is not fully white, therefore will be very difficult to sell. And what I mean by that is the colour code at the top. As you can see, it says FCF3FF, and that's the full white colour code. Whereas this one's colour code is EFE1F5, so it's slightly different. It means it's basically off-white, it's almost grey. These are very difficult to sell. And as you can see here, a black Necron chestplate is, well, over 1 billion coins in comparison to the equivalent non-dyed one. Granted, this has got good enchantments on it, it's still going to be around about 1 billion coins more expensive. As for pets, well, there's a lot on pets to be honest. So obviously there's the level, there's the rarity, is it tier boosted, what item is it holding, does it have pet candy on it, and what I mean by that is basically this one here doesn't have pet candy, whereas this one here has 10 out of 10 pet candy used. Believe it or not, if you're not accustomed to this, this one here is definitely valued lower than the one without pet candy. It's completely cosmetic, but that's just the way it is. Anywho, back onto the items to flip. In my experience, Flower of Truths have made me a lot of coins, and there's a few different ways you can flip them. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, you could buy 9 ancient roses and craft a clean Flower of Truth and sell it on. This is probably the one that I've had most luck with, and that search for withered Flower of Truths, because they sell for more, and there seems to be more demand for the withered ones. And then basically just look through them. Is there any good deals in terms of enchantments? Ultimate wise 5, hot potatoed, 5 starred, and so on. Another item that's great to flip is one for all livid daggers. Same again, just search one for all, filter, and just basically filter through to the livid daggers and see if there's any good deals. You want to be looking for fabled and withered in the Reforge, preferably 5 starred, hot potatoed to make them sell easier. And yeah, see if you can buy low and sell high. Like I mentioned before, Necron Armor I found great to flip. Look out for Wisdom 5, Legion 5, Recombobulated, and so on, all your usual upgrades. Also on the Necron sets, Growth and Protection 6 play a big part. Same goes with Storm Armor, both with the Necron and the Storm, and all with the sets. I would probably, for the most part, avoid flipping the helmets because they do take a while to sell, because most people don't use the full set, i.e. they don't use the helmet. Anyway, very good to flip, Wisdom 5. On the Storm pieces, Necrotic, Loving, sometimes Ancient's a little bit dodgy to flip. Nevertheless, Growth and Protection 6 do have a big impact on the pricing. Other good items to flip are Wither Goggles, both recombobulated and unrecombobulated. You want to be looking for Necrotic 5 starred, hot potatoed, and then Wisdom 5, Growth and Protection 6. But yeah, very good to flip. Now, I've had a lot of luck in the past with Midas staffs. I've just found them really, really good to flip. For instance, I think this may... No, there's a bit of a flip there anyway. I'm getting a bit distracted. Anyway, yeah, Midas staffs, there's quite a lot to go through. So obviously you've got your regular upgrades that will increase the value, i.e. Ultimate Wise 5, all the enchantments, Fuming / Hot Potato, Recombobulated, you want Heroic on there, 5-starred. Also, with the Midas staffs, you see here price paid 18 million coins. This has an impact on the damage and therefore the actual cost. You want to be very careful when you're buying these, because a lot of people like to list basically these items for a lot more expensive than they should be, in the hopes that people buy them. Anyway, I mean, I have a lot of luck flipping the lowest bin, so right here this is a decent flip, to be honest. You could buy this and sell. This isn't a Fuming Potato. You could probably make a good 3 or 4 million coins profit from this, because it's recombobulated. None of these are. Anyway, if you want to make a lot of coins, you've got to be very careful. You can flip the 100 million coin Midas staffs in the hopes that people list them for slightly cheaper. Basically 100 million coins is the cutoff, so anything over 100 million coins paid is not going to increase the value of it. Like I said, just definitely watch out for people listing like 10 million coin Midas staffs for 100 million coins, because I've accidentally bought one in the past and it's not good. Another good weapon to flip is the Atom Split Katana. Check it every now and then. Sometimes you can pick a good deal up on a one for all Atom Split Katana. Yeah, just another option. Like I mentioned before, sometimes you can pick some good deals up on giant swords. For instance, this one here is listed for 194 mil. And the next one that's really like that is 199 mil, although this one is withered. Looks like a great flip again straight away, but you can lose a lot of coins when you list it. Just be careful, like I said, because you're now dealing with a lot of coins. Basically your fees are going to go up as well. Nevertheless, if done correctly, this can make a lot of coins. Now there are many more items that you can flip. Pretty much anything that's listed on the AH can be flipped. So these are the items that I've had most luck with, although it doesn't mean to say that necessarily you could find items that work for you and they wouldn't work just as well or better. What I would say is it's good to have a good variation of items. Expand your portfolio, do a bit of research into different markets. The last thing you want to be doing is stuck searching and searching for the same item over and over again. You want to cycle through items basically. But anyway, I think that is going to just about conclude today's video. Hopefully this has helped some people. I have made other AH flipping guides in the past, and this AH flipping guide will be in the playlist with those other guides. So maybe if you want a little bit of a different take, then you can go ahead and watch those videos too. But anyway, that's all for today. I hope you all have enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.